Good afternoon. My name is Frank Grottos, marketing student over at University of Houston, Victoria. The purpose of this video is to interview two amazing individuals, Damon Clayton and Colton Cornett. They are two entrepreneurs who started an online business called InstaRocketPro. The service they offer to their clients is to build anybody with an Instagram account a large social media presence. So the first question I want to ask y'all is, what sets InstaRocketPro apart from all the other competitors?
That's a great question. So basically what sets us apart is, just us caring about our clients.
Okay.
And what would you have to say about that?
It's definitely customer service is a big thing that we basically have as a strategy.
Okay.
A difference from our competitors is that we jump on live video calls, we jump in live interviews like this to help other businesses, which you won't find in other businesses. You'll basically have to email them and get robotic replies. You'll never know when they get hit back up. But I'm helping people on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm trying to help your business grow. I'm trying to help our cameraman's business grow. So we look at it like we're not doing much different than the other people, but we're just the customer service and the quickness and things like that, and always evolving monthly.
Okay.
Like I always joke about, if you go down the street, you got Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, KFC, all got the same equipment, all selling the same thing, but one of them is packed 24/7. The reason why is because they give back and they have good customer service.
Okay, I like that. How do you deal with new clients?
With new clients, it's always great. It's their first time looking at the internet. As we have to kind of coach them and let them know that the internet never closes. It's a 24/7. There's no closing hours. So we try to really first prep the client and let them know that you're going to be doing something that you've never done before. And with that being said, it's just time to let loose from the social norms that usually everyone says. It's not good to contact someone at 6 o'clock because maybe they might be eating dinner, but realistically they might be sitting on the couch, and you never know when's the right time to contact. So we always like to engage with the client when our first contact with them and let them know that you're ready to basically break free from the social norms.
Gotcha. I would also add on to that sometimes people, even while they're eating dinner, they have their phones out.
Right.
It's just they're eating, and then the phone is right there,
You're
and
like
they're still
this,
scrolling through Facebook. Exactly.
So there's really, it's really, just telling them straight up that, let's get ready to, live life with no rules, and that's with the internet.
Okay, I like that expression. Do you offer any service guarantees to your clients?
Oh yeah, we always have great customer service that people always message us back and say, man, I can't believe that my business went up 5 new clients this month, or we always hear like that one recently we heard that basically
she was the stylist. She did hair. She was like, she's been using this for maybe like 2 weeks, and she was like, hey, I've been getting people recently messaging me asking me how much I do their hair for. We've had personal trainers that one guy, Matt Godfrey, is a local personal trainer. He said he got 3 clients in 1 month. So I mean, he made his money back and made probably a couple hundred more than that too. So it's like, we're in the business of growing business. Not only do we guarantee more inquiries, more brand awareness, more eyes on your product, brand, or business, we also guarantee real interactions and real followers. So if you get a year plan, you're guaranteed to get anywhere from 15,000 to 25,000 local following or worldwide following, whichever you prefer.
Gotcha.
It's a guarantee.
So it's not just a ghost follower.
Yeah,
it's somebody who is actually interested.
Like next week you're gonna have 10,000 people. We have time packages out, and with that we can guarantee the results just because we've averaged it out and have seen what the market can bring.
Okay.
Yeah, and the way we built this business is basically off of showing love to get love.
Okay.
It's like the question of why we all love our parents is because they loved us first. And so, in this business model, it's basically reaching out there and commenting, liking, and following someone that is in your target market that shares the same interest as you, and in return, it's someone that they could reach out to and say, hey, I do the same as you, and here's some questions. And we like to tell our clients that are new to this is that if you don't respond to them, if you don't message them back, because a lot of people don't want to message back, or they feel like, you know, they're too cool to comment back. And that leads to, you know, leaving your customer or your potential client, you know, unwanted. And then they, you know, that's basically on them. But yeah, going forward is basically, you know, just showing love to get love.
Gotcha. And touching on the subject of target market, who would you define as your target market?
Everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah, everyone. I mean,
everyone with a smartphone.
like Damon said, is like, you know, we've helped people in all types of categories. You know, people that sold, you know, necklaces, people that sold paintings, people that sold keychains,
like boutiques, trainers, singers.
We're all like, yeah.
What's the most random ones we got? Like a Botox company in Arizona, a gun holster company in Colorado.
Wow.
We had a company in Belgium. It's funny, we got the company from us commenting something like, "Have a great day." And I was like, "How did you hear about us?" She said, "We saw your comment, you know, we went to your profile, we went to your website, it made sense, follow the plan."
Wow.
So the comment got international business. And she was like a boutique. She sold like jeans, necklaces, stuff like that.
Wow. In that case, how would you define an ideal customer? Do you have an ideal customer?
Ideal customer is going to be anyone with a brand, business, product, or service. People that don't have that, you know, they can use our service, but they're not ideal. These people with businesses, brands, products, you know, they can get our service and then boost traffic to whatever they're basically showing, and then that can create more awareness, more sales. Whatever they post will go up.
Gotcha. So people who just want follower counts just for the heck of it, that's not really.
Well, that is also a potential client, because those people can leverage themselves over time into a category where they're now an influencer for a brand. You know, so they don't have to technically own the brand. Technically, you know, we've had clients that, you know, work with network marketing companies that technically don't own the business, but they're the sellers of their affiliate marketing for the business. So with them being, you know, having a large followers and a lot of lead generation, you know, they can also build their business through, you know, building their product.
Do you have any recovery strategies for an instance with a difficult client? And what about when your service doesn't meet their expectations?
I would say that if people, you know, like if I go to, this might be a weird example, but like okay, if I go to, you know, if I go fishing and I'm with someone that's done fishing, studied fishing, knows how to fish, knows how to catch a lot of fish, you know, I'm gonna listen to them, and I'm not gonna like say much. I'm gonna be like, look, you know what you're doing. If I listen to you, I'm gonna become a good fisher. I'm gonna catch a lot of fish. So, you know, we get clients that, you know, are like, hey, like, I want to grow big, but I don't want to do this, and it stunts their own growth. So like, going back to the fisherman analogy, if people were just like, hey, I know you guys know what y'all are doing, if they would just like listen and let us do it, like we would have 100% success rate. The only people that kind of don't get a good success rate are the people that want to change everything and not go with it and think that they know how to do it correctly, and it ends up they being the least amount of people that grow. The people that kind of just listen to us and go with the flow, like we had one guy, he went from 160 following to like 16.5 thousand in like 11 months.
Wow.
Yeah. And he doesn't even have a business brand or product, just a dude that fishes and just wanted to just have fun.
Gotcha. So it can get kind of difficult working with clients who are clueless on social
media. We like to
media.
always turn any objection or any kind of complaint into, you know, resolving it, you know, as letting them know, you know, we'll reach out to them and let them know that, you know, this is where we're at, and this is also you know, this is understandable because you've never done this before. You know, if nothing changes, then nothing changes.
Gotcha.
So we try to let them know that, you know, sometimes you got to change little things in order to grow yourself.
Like the comment thing, how a lot of people will be like, I don't want to comment. I think it's weird. People think I'm weird. But like they say that and they don't see the benefit yet, but like we do it and we get business in Belgium from just simple comments. So it's hard letting people know, like, hey, like, feels different, it is different, you're gonna get different results, you gotta go through it.
Yeah, we look at it as like, you know, for example, let's say if Drake a well-known singer in North America or worldwide, but people look at it as like if Drake was to comment on everyone that hashtag Drake, and he said, put like a thumbs up
Like
on their
thanks.
picture or thanks.
Yeah.
Then that person would be like, oh my gosh, Drake just commented.
Right.
And they would
Go to his
screenshot,
account,
probably buy like
share
his
it.
shirts, his socks, his album.
So like we try to tell, rappers, singers, people like that, like if you're doing that, even if you're not that big, you're gonna get the same reaction.
You still need to be what we call in the trenches, because most people, when they have a large following, they're in the helicopter. They're flying over their fan base, they're flying over their customers, but they're not in the trenches. And when you're in the trenches, when you're in with the customers, and you're telling them, look, like I'll be able to respond to you within 2 hours, 24 hours,
20 minutes.
20 minutes. I mean, if you're sometimes, yeah, like I mean,
That's
don't.
the difference.
It's not like what we like to say is that when you ignore the customer or the client, is when they go to someone else. So.
And off of that, what strategies do you take in order to build a solid relationship with your client?
Being communications, keeping communication always there, making sure that not only are we treating them as a client, but we also, like if it's an artist that we work with, we'll sit there in the office and we'll listen to their music, and we'll tell them like, hey, we like this song, we'll go beyond the business
Just
relationship.
like doing like this is a perfect example to where you're not even a client of ours, but like I thought it would be a good idea to help, not necessarily your business, but your project get like an A+, and then that could get you more benefits or something like that. So like just giving back and like doing good business is something that we like to do for people, for clients, anywhere.
Yeah,
it's just good business.
Gotcha. Well, that actually answers my question of what are the steps that y'all take in order to maximize the customer's experience. What would you define as a successful delivery of the service? Is it the follower count, the post engagement, the amount of business they receive? What would y'all define as a successful delivery?
It would be someone starting off small, advertising, for example, like their new hat company that they just made, they're posting hats, and they go from 122 following, getting no interactions, no messages, and then 3-4 months later they're at 8,000 followers, getting tons of comments, tons of DMs, tons of inquiries. They've made $300, $400, $500 in that time, maybe more, like something like that. That's like a ace for us. Like we took them from nothing, got them to something, and we showed them the power that social media can do for their business and for them.
Because most people that they decline our business, and the reason why is because they have an ego, like a problem with the ego, and our success is basically telling them to go ahead and grab your ego and throw it out the window, because the only way you're going to experience growth is when you go ahead and let go and just let the internet, let the power of the internet do all the work. Because people are always on line, and people tend to forget is like they're laying in bed at 9 o'clock over here in America thinking that everyone's asleep, no one cares about what I have to post. But realistically, if you build an online following, you could be having
like
followers.
London, Australia, they're awake.
They're just not waking up. So
gotcha.
We have a lot of clients.
24/7 business then.
We have a lot of clients that sell all over the world due to our business helping them.
Yeah, we had one guy. What was that fitness guy?
Mad Grains.
Yeah, Mad Grains. Like they were a clothing company, and he was like, "Oh my God, I just got my first international order." I can't remember what country it was in, but it was international, and it was the first one he got within like 2 weeks of using this.
Yeah, and if like of course we do build awareness, so like of course followers will go up, likes will go up, comments will go up, but those will only lead into a sale or growing the business by revenue is if the person actually goes and comments back and and actually answers the questions with the person. So if they get a DM that says, hey, how much is your hat, and they just open it up, they read it, they don't respond, or they actually don't have a website in the bio where they could buy the hat, then it's like
that's how they can fail.
That's how they can fail themselves. But we like to be the one to coach them. If they say, hey, I'm not making any sales, we're not going to say, oh, because you have a bad product. We're going to say, look, this is what you could do and steps to making it sell.
Gotcha. So besides sometimes people's egos getting in the way, what are some of the challenges you face in this industry?
People not wanting to invest in themselves for their business is the biggest objection, and then the little roots that come from that are I'm broke.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay to grow my business. And it's like most people are broke because they're scared to invest in themselves or their business and let go of that money and then build it up a little bit more. And then from that, they'll give their money back and a little bit more. And you just kind of keep doing that. But they're scared to take that first step of like, hey, like I take this serious. This is a business, not a hobby. Let me invest $50 into myself and let me grow some people and see what can happen from that. Most people are just scared to take that leap.
Yeah, when we first started, we invested, I wouldn't say the actual amount, but, a couple $1,000s into growing our business. And then our first month, we made $7. So,
$7.
We were happy.
This month, we're at about 250 times that amount.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So that's what I tell people. I'm like, it's not overnight. Like, first month, $7. Like, you might be a model doing photography and you might charge your first photographer $10, but like, do that, keep investing in yourself, and like a year from now, you'll be making $150 a photographer. It's just the more you invest, the more you take it serious. So that's the biggest objection that we would get.
Yeah, and usually how we counteroffer that is like when we hear someone say, oh, it's just I don't have the money, I'm a broke college kid or I'm a broke high school kid or and we tell them like, look, like let's go ahead and break it down. Like so this month we're doing March Madness, which is going to be $37.50 a month. So we tell them, what's 5 quarters a day?
Yeah.
Like, I like a year plan, it's like 63 cents a day.
Wow.
So I break it down to businesses. They're like, this isn't in our budget. I'm like, guys, like this is like 10 straws per day to grow 24/7.
Or like, what employee do you have on payroll that's 63 cents for 24 hours a day?
So it's definitely people just not wanting to invest in themselves, and then people not understanding.
Not seeing the big picture.
This is new marketing, social media marketing.
Is.
It's not traditional. It's not radio ads, TV ads.
Yeah, and the reason why we kind of set ourselves apart from different traditional advertising is because, as you can see, everywhere you go, your coffee shops, your high schools, anywhere you go in public, you see people staring at their phone. And, it may either be on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, all that. But at the same time, if you just go to any hashtag that you're interested in, you go to type, hashtag makeup, and you can refresh that page. There's probably 400 to 300 posts every second on hashtag makeup. And, they might not be local, but they'll be global. And so we try to connect people all over the world because, as we know, our closest friends might not support us, but there's people all over the world that share the same passion. And we're just there to connect them to, help them, motivate them, and grow their networking.
Gotcha. That actually brings me to my next question. Since this industry is still very unknown to a large number of people, do you believe that the customer is not always right? That old term, the customer is always right. How do you think that holds up in this industry?
In the social media realm?
Yes.
Okay, so the customer may not be right, but it's not that he's not, it's just because he's misinformed. And that's where we like to come in and tell them from our past experiences. See, when we first started, his page was at like 16,000 followers. And
that was my old account.
Yeah.
I met him, I was at like 423, and a year later it was like 16.7.
Nice.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's crazy like how we kind of, started is we basically met each other. 2 weeks later, hopped in a car and went to Los Angeles. And then from there, through that trip, we were networking with people and staying with people like along the way, not going the hotel route, not going the traditional route, but just kind of meeting people and networking, building businesses. He was a photographer, still doing a lot of work for like restaurants that we've met out there.
Wow.
And I was just going up to restaurants like, hey, I got a big following. Could we eat here for free? I'll shoot for you. And they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the ones that had big followings wouldn't, but like this one California kitchen had like 100-some followers, so they were like amazed by it. So there's power.
That's amazing.
Yeah. We're using our social networking in order to,
it's kind of like what we're doing here. Again,
right.
Yeah. Are there any steps you take in ensuring a word of mouth referral from the client?
Let me take this one.
All right.
So we created a reward system.
Okay.
We take that Chick-fil-A motto of giving back, good customer service. So, anyone that signs up, like let's say you sign up and you sign up 3 of your friends because you're like, hey, this would benefit them. Every person that you sign up, you get a free month added to your account.
Okay.
So it's like you sign up, you get the results, you're like, man, my friend could use this. You could keep referring people and never pay. Just grow and grow and grow and grow and bringing people in, getting free time. Wow. And we've also been working on a new structure of to where, people, if you want the time, you can get that. But if you want to make some commissions, we're also offering that as well.
Okay.
So like if you were like, man, I got 10 kids on my, whatever club want to grow, they all want to sign up, we cut you a check just like that.
Wow.
So we've created an option of commissions or time for a rewards referral program.
Right. And unlike a lot of businesses or any job out there paying every bi-weekly or monthly, we like to pay the same day.
Oh, okay.
And it's not like 10, 20%.
So you
can
get
offer like 40%.
Gotcha.
It's a big piece of pie, kind of. So.
So you can fulfill that instant gratification.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to give away back. That's our whole reason why doing this is like giving back, because we know what works, and so obviously it worked for us. So we're basically having work for others, but then now we want to make it where not only are we, getting paid to update and run our servers and pay our staff, but also to pay, the people that love our services, and also pay them to be, because we can't go fly over to another country and have to sit down with them. So we want to be able to have like Skype calls, Skype meetings, be able to, grow our business internationally by just like, using the internet.
Gotcha. Well, since y'all gave me a really great rundown on how the business works, I want to know, what was the purpose of building this business?
The why.
Yeah,
okay.
The why.
So the why is basically, I was in college and I used to raise my hand and ask the professors, like, why are you not teaching me anything about social media? Like, why are you not teaching me how to grow a business online? And, they're teaching me how to, go apply for a job and write a resume. And I feel like in life, every day, if you're learning or if you're failing, you're writing your own resume. And so when it got into this business, I've always been passionate about social media. Prior to Instagram, I built a large following on Twitter. And then, coming over to Instagram, which was a new app at the time, I built a large following. A lot of people ask me questions about how to do it. How can I go ahead and actually, I wasn't doing it for the following. I was doing it for, to be an influence to people that don't have an older brother that can, someone can look up to, or having a family member that, that can motivate you and inspire you. And being a mentor to others that you'll never meet in your life. And so to be a bigger picture to someone, basically influencing them. And then through that, I was thinking, well, if I'm going to be on Instagram, 8 hours to 10 hours a day, I should be making some money off of it. I should turn this into a job. Right. And so that's when we came together and, kind of brainstormed for like 3 years, and then finally launched the website. Wow. Our first site, our first month making $7. And then, being us, we were excited, we jumped around and stuff, but
yeah, we had like free plans at first.
Yeah. Wow. We were just growing it,
test the market,
test
the concept.
Gotcha.
But the why is basically to let people understand, that it's cool that you have a physical business or a physical product, or you actually have an awesome service, or you're really talented. But the thing about it is that your number one problem is obscurity. No one knows about you. I mean, your friends know about you. Your family knows about you. But there's people in the world that want to know about you. That probably are in the same, same situation as you, and they want to know, like, okay, so you've accomplished this, how can I accomplish that? So it's like, it's getting you out there to the bigger picture so you can become more of like an inspiration to others.
Gotcha. And I like the transparency too, because, I personally know people who wouldn't, loudly proclaim they made $7, in their first month.
Yeah.
No, it's part of the story. Like, it's a good story to tell because people can relate to it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like when we go to like different business networking events and stuff like that, like, we tell people that, it's funny that most people would stay in a hotel and live lavish off the company's dime, but us, we would rather sleep in the car.
Exactly.
We would rather go to the use Wi-Fi at Starbucks. And then, just because we're in that grind stage, and that's going to take 5, maybe 10 years. And I believe that Instagram is going to be around for the next 15 to 20 years. But we're in that grind stage where basically, we don't want to spend money and like ball out and stuff like that. We want to basically spend the money on growing our business and deepening our relationships with our clients.
Okay. And one last question. What are the core values of InstaRocketPro?
Okay. So
core values is great customer service and organic results.
And another thing is I would say is it's integrity.
Yeah.
You know, keeping truth to our clients.
Like we got Google verified, so we have the little lock on the website, so it keeps people protected, their information protected,
for payment and stuff like
it's
that.
It's just giving back, you know, providing great customer service, helping.
We want to start, you know, building, you know, things in communities like maybe like parks and stuff, and like, you know, just a way to give back, to generate money, but also like to give back. And then, you know, it's cool is because we can also say, you know, we've did this with an app. Like it's a free app that everyone has, you know, and it's like, that's what we try to tell people all the time is that, you know, it's funny that you're on this app 8 hours a day, but you can actually be making money on this app.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of our that's our big shift for people's mindsets.
Right. I like that.
World domination.
Yeah. I like that. Well, fellas, I think that's all the information I needed. I want to thank you so much for taking the time for this.
We're going to say a little InstarocketPro.com, March Madness, get 25% off any plan.
Oh, yeah.